Hello everyone and welcome back to another video where today I have a very exciting video to share with you because we are finally taking a look at some of the new Home Depot animatronics for 2022. So around late last week we did get our first look at the lineup for this year, which was leaked off of Home Depot's website, and we have some really awesome animatronics to take a look at. So sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and take a look at some new for 2022 Home Depot animatronics. Starting off this list we have the 6-foot skeleton bartender. Now this prop is very cool looking. As you can see, he is a bartender and is dressed in a sharp suit. I'm a huge fan of the sharp dressed skeletons we're going to look at this year, such as the sharp dressed skeleton from Palmer Agencies. This prop reminds me of him a whole lot, except this one is of course a bartender. I'm a really huge fan of this prop. I like the fact that he has a glass in his hand and he's actually pouring something into it. Really cool prop. However, I don't think this prop would really fit into any specific themes unless you are really doing like a theme that requires a bartender. Although he's still a very cool prop, and he is 6 foot tall, which is a really good height for a prop. Overall, really cool, and I'm happy that he exists. Next up, we have a prop called the Reaper of Souls, and as you can see, he is pretty much just a recolored Inferno Reaper that we saw last year. I believe he has the same movement, but for all of these props, there is no existing videos as of right now released to the public, so we can't really determine what movement they're going to have. All we can do is really speculate. So I'm going to guess he has the same movement as the Inferno Reaper, judging by his design. But since we've already seen that prop, and this is only just a recolor, that's all I'm going to say about him. Although I am very happy that he exists, since the colour red does look pretty good on this prop. Alright, now moving on to the next prop on this list, we have a look at another large spider. So this is reminiscent of the spider sold at Costco. However, the major difference that I can see here is that instead of the legs being a hard plastic, these seem to be like a foam or like a plush material that makes it look like more realistic and makes the spider look like it has hair on it. That's a really nice difference because not only does it make the spider look more realistic, but it's also a nice change from the plastic that we get with most props that are trying to pull this huge spider look off. So I'm going to guess with this prop the eyes light up like the Costco one does. His eyes light up red and make some sounds. So I'm going to guess he does the exact same thing, since he does seem to be made by Seasonal Visions, which is the company that produced both of these spiders. So that's pretty much everything to say about this prop. As of how big he is, I'm not too sure. The leg span would probably be around 5 to 6 feet, judging by the Costco spider. However, he could be bigger or smaller. I can't really tell just judging by this photo alone. However, really cool prop, and I'm glad that more huge spider props are being made. And moving on, we have a witch prop this time, and as you can see, we have seen this prop before. However, I believe these are new costumes, judging by the one on the left. I think this is like a remake of the Cauldron witches we saw last year from Morris Costumes. They do have what appears to be a smaller version of the Cauldron. However, I think they basically do the exact same thing. These witches' eyes, they light up and the mouth moves and they discuss things to each other. The cauldron itself should light up and the witches do actually stir it with the stick they're holding, so that's a really cool touch. However, we have seen this prop before, so let's go ahead and move on. Alright, so next up on the list we have a prop called the Malevolent Wizard, and as you can see, this prop is a really neat looking prop. I like the colour of the robe he's wearing with the blue and the contrast of purple. Really cool here. We have seen wizard props at the Home Depot before. However, this one appears to be slightly different as it seems to have a staff and a crystal ball. I believe the crystal ball will light up as most props with crystal balls do, so it's pretty safe to say that that will be the case with this guy. Mouth would probably move and the eyes would light up, but as I said before, it's basically impossible to be sure without videos. However, we will probably get videos for all of these props nearing the Halloween season. So that's pretty much it for this guy. Pretty cool looking prop. I'm glad we are getting some more wizard props, as in the past they have been neglected, but Home Depot is definitely for sure bringing them back. So that's pretty much that for this guy. We're now going to go ahead and move on to the next prop. Alright, so next you can see that we have seen this prop before. This is the pumpkin duo that we saw last year. However, the big major difference is that this time they have a new costume. They are now what appears to be dressed as trick-or-treaters, judging by the candy bags they're holding. And I'm personally a huge fan of this. When I first saw these guys' stock photos you've seen here, I got really excited because I really love like the new trick-or-treater variant of them. The previous one I wasn't really a huge fan of, I just didn't really like the clothes. However, with this new variant of them, I'm a huge fan. Very disappointing that the Home Depot don't ship to the UK, but if they did, these guys would 100% be a purchase for me. I'm a huge fan of them anyway, but with this new variant, like I said, I'm really like these guys. Really cool props. They retail for around $90 as well, which is pretty good, not gonna lie, for a prop. Plus you do get a lot for the money at Home Depot. They do have really great prices for what you get with props. So yeah, overall this prop is really good. I'm loving the new costumes, and I'm really excited to see these guys in action despite us seeing them before. So that's pretty much it for them. Let's go ahead and move on to the next prop. Alright, so next prop on this list is called the Goblin Thief, and this prop is really interesting looking, as you can see here. It does appear to be a jump scare because it looks like this goblin is hence the name Goblin Thief, stealing skeleton remains or bones. It looks like this skeleton skull might pop out the bag that he's holding and then jump scare people, which is a really neat touch. When I initially saw this prop, I wasn't a huge fan of this. I think the goblin head kind of looks a bit weird, but I did grow around to liking this prop when I realised that is going to be a jump scare prop, judging by the way this prop looks, of course. The fact that it's called Goblin Thief suggests that it won't be so tall. I think maybe around 4 or 5 feet tall, since it is a goblin, of course, and goblins are known for being shorter. However, I think with the new jump scare that it has, it is a pretty unique prop. I am very intrigued to see how this prop looks in its prop video whenever that will be released. So yeah, I mean, probably not one that I would consider getting, just because there's not really much demand for a goblin prop, or especially in my haunt really, because I have other props that I want to, like, you know, get instead of this prop. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty interesting prop that I'm sure other people will like. This next prop is an open casket prop, and this is a very interesting prop. I'm a huge fan of the entire idea of this. Basically, I'm assuming the lid will open and close, judging by the mechanism you can sort of see toward the left of this prop. It does have LEDs in it, and it's called the LED casket, so I am assuming that the lid will kind of open and then the LEDs will flash. I'm assuming you can put something in there like a skeleton or something that will kind of reveal it as it opens up with the motion sensor. I'm a huge fan of this prop. It's definitely one of my favourites that the Home Depot is selling. I'm just a really huge fan of the entire idea of a casket prop. I don't think we've ever actually got this before from Home Depot, or I could be wrong, so if I am, make sure to leave it in the comments below. But yeah, I'm imagining what I would do with this prop if I were to get it. I would put it on like a table or something. Then I'll have it in a walkthrough, so when people go by, it will open up and reveal a skeleton. I'm a huge fan of that idea. Huge fan of this prop. I'm really happy that we do finally get a casket-like prop in a funeral scene even. That you can recreate a funeral scene with this prop. I think it will look really good. And yeah, overall, very spooky prop, and I'm happy that it's been stocked at the Home Depot for this year. And now moving on to a scarecrow prop, and this is basically a hanging scarecrow on a pole. It seems to be more of a like typical stereotype scarecrow from like a cornfield, and I have no problem with that actually. It does remind me of the techie scarecrow from last year, the one that held the sign and the lantern. That was a very cool prop, and this seems to be reminiscent of that. The clothes it seems to be wearing are pretty cool. It just has like a typical scarecrow costume, has a belt as well to wrap around its waist. You can also see its ribcage as well, which is always a neat touch. The hat looks pretty good, the face looks pretty good. Overall, it's a really good scarecrow prop, and I'm happy that it's at the Home Depot. Next on this list, we have this witch prop here, and I'm unaware of what it does. However, it seems to be a rising prop, so it would rise from a shorter height to a higher one and then descend again. Its mouth unfortunately doesn't seem to move, as it looks to be a hard plastic mould for the face. However, the eyes do definitely light up, and I would assume it also makes sound. That's pretty much it with this prop. Really nice classic witch prop here. I like the colours of the purple on the hat. Next up, we have the Graveyard Reaper prop, and it's important to point out here that this prop is 15 feet tall. Him being 15 feet makes him the tallest Home Depot prop I believe we've ever got, which beats out the 12-foot skeletons and also the werewolf that we've seen this year. His eyes and mouth do light up. I don't believe they move since it seems to be a hard plastic piece. Seeing this guy in real life will definitely be a sight, and I'm really happy that this guy is actually made. I'm very excited to see a video of this guy in real life because he's going to look very insane. Obviously, definitely one of the tallest props ever got. And yeah, that's pretty much it for him. Huge fan of this guy, and I'm happy that the Home Depot is selling him for this year. Next up on this prop list, we have Fear Goes the Clown, and as you can see here, this is a different clown prop. Instead of the vibrant colours that we usually get with the carnival props, such as the Creepy Towering Clown and Sweet Dreams the Clown, this prop has darker clothing with a matte-like look to it. Instead of holding anything like balloons or anything, instead he's holding this decaying bunch of flowers, and the face of this guy is very creepy, very unnerving prop, and as you can see, he's dressed in this really like old-fashioned like era clothing. He also has like a patch on his knee, and the shoes he seems to be wearing appears to be different from the usual Seasonal Visions clown shoes, which is always a nice touch. This guy is just, all I can say is he's different from most clown props, and that's why I really like him. I'm a huge fan of the face, also the makeup he has on his face. Looks like a Victorian era clown, like a really old fashioned clown that has come back from the dead to haunt people, and that's why I love him a lot. Overall, I'm a huge fan of this guy, and I'm really happy that the Home Depot have finally made like a different clown prop to what we usually get. Now this next prop is a very cool one. This is a around 6 foot Oogie Boogie animatronic from The Night Before Christmas. He has a light up mouth and light up eyes, and it appears that his body also lights up green, which is a really nice feature. He's holding his dice, which he does in the movie, and if I had to guess what he does, he'd probably sing the song that he sings from the Night Before Christmas movie, which is also a really nice touch. We've had the Sally animatronic and the Jack Skeleton animatronic from The Night Before Christmas too, so it only makes sense that we're going to see some more characters like Oogie Boogie, and we now have finally got him. People are now able to get all 3 of the Night Before Christmas characters, and overall it's just really cool that he has been made and is at the Home Depot. This next prop, as you can see, is a very cool prop. It's part of the towering range the Home Depot do that are around 9 to 10 feet, and this is the 10-foot towering werewolf. However, I believe he's around 9.6 feet tall, but he is technically around 10 feet tall, so he's around the same height as the digital eye skeletons that we've seen from Home Depot, like the 12-foot ones. However, he is just a bit shorter. So this prop is, as you can see, a werewolf, which is really nice. We finally get to see another variant of these towering props other than skeletons. He also most likely does make sound as well. I'm really happy that this prop exists, as it's basically telling us that the Home Depot will do more towering props like the larger than life Home Depot skeletons. So it's really nice to see that we will be getting some different variants. And that is pretty much it for this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. That was pretty much all of the Home Depot animatronic life sizes that I could find as of right now. There is probably more, judging by the amount of animatronics the Home Depot gets each year. So if there's any more, I'll make sure to make like a community post about it. But if there is any more, it'll most likely be released anytime soon, or towards the Halloween season itself, when the videos do come out for all of these awesome props. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to comment down below your favourite props from this list. Mine would probably have to be the werewolf with the digital eyes, or either that or probably the 15 feet graveyard reapers. That guy is just insanely tall. That is pretty much it for this video. Really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.